Hey everybody. I was wanting to talk about good and evil. Now, in our role playing games, we like to have the battle between good and evil, and hopefully, good will win. But I'm more philosophical than a lot of people, and I see good and evil as perspectives. In Rollmaster, they have evil professions. Um, and to me, I think that's off. It's weird. It's basically wrong. Um, because these are skills, these are spells, they're skills, they are means to achieve a goal. How you use them should be considered good or bad. Um, Now, one of the evil spells is for, let's see, I think it's a sorcerer. It's flesh destruction. Okay, yeah, that sounds pretty nasty. You're casting a spell and somebody's arm is going to rot away. But I think that's too much of thinking of the Jedi and the Sith. Once you go down the dark side, there's no coming back. These skills are for Sith only, and these skills are for Jedi only. I believe in like the gray Jedi, the in betweens, the ones that are able to use both some Jedi and a little Sith here and there and fight for what's right. Flesh destruction, yes, it sounds nasty, okay? But what if you use that spell on someone evil? Okay, could you not be fighting against let's just say a simple warlord that has 20 henchmen that are going around and harassing the area? You join a group of heroes and you are the one who gets the first clear shot at the warlord, and you decided that you're going to cast a flesh destruction level 8 spell, and you get that clean shot. Boom. Are you evil? No, you did a good thing. And so having things that are strictly listed as evil, I think, is wrong. And I think it would add to the story, the backstory of a character, and add more pizzazz, zing to your campaign when all of a sudden, this one person that would have been considered bad because he's doing some really dark spells, but is fighting for good. Um, it's a bad analogy, but I got to use it. World War II. What side you're on determines if you're good or bad. Because, being American, we view World War II as the Allies were the good guys. The UK, unfortunately for that time period, they turned into the Soviet Union, the US, Brazil, and so many other small countries around the world fought against the Axis. And so then we portray everybody that was part of the Axis forces, Italy, Japan, and some of those other smaller Balkan countries, as evil. I mean, because it was you're either with us or against us, the Jedi mentality. And so, but reverse it. What if you're German? You were thinking that you were doing great. You were going to be cleansing the lands around you and building a grand German nation, and so that the German people would be living a better life. And so, in your eyes, if you were German, you were the good guys. It's all about perception. And so, there are too many times where things are either good or bad in TTRPGs, and I disagree with it. I mean, I'm not like, oh, what's the name of that one? Oh, shoot, never mind. Orcs cannot be just evil. Trolls are not just evil. Elves are not always just good. Okay? There should be good and bad in all races, not just good here and bad there. And so this is all about perspective, and yes, I watch a lot of cartoons. There was an interesting, I think it was Justice League, and they're going, good and evil don't matter. It's order versus chaos. So you kind of like your alignment there, although I hate the alignment table on D&D and all the clones of it. Just because somebody thinks it's bad should not mean that's all bad. Well, the alignment table don't work on this part, I guess. But it's like the paladin. I hate the concept in D&D that you were either a good paladin or a black paladin or the anti-paladin. And with so many different belief systems that you can have in your game, and there should be many, because you are going to be having all these different races. Each one has their own religious and political views, and so you could have a dwarf paladin, but he is honoring his gods. And so, does that make him an anti-paladin? No, it don't. He is a virtuous dwarf paladin. So he should be considered good. Just because he's not a Christian paladin does not make him an anti-paladin. And the same thing with orcs. Like I was saying, I still forget the people that were saying that, that it's racist for everybody to consider orcs as only evil. I kind of agree with that. Because I want all my races in my games to have depth, not brain dead, cannon fodder. And so we also then cannot consider professions to only be good or bad. So why can't a sorcerer fight on the side of good? Clerics, in Rollmaster they have evil clerics, and I'm going, no. Just like the paladins, a cleric is a cleric. It's just there are so many belief systems that could be in the game. I'm doing a historical fashion, alternative Earth. Okay? And so I have all these different pagan groups in my world. And so we cannot just say that only the Norse can be lawful paladins. Every culture, every belief system has their own paladins. There is no anti-paladin. It's just a different perspective. Another way to say what I'm thinking here is, paladins. Why can't Satan, thinking about Christianity here, have paladins? Okay, they are following the codes of Satan. But if they're following them, they are being loyal and honest to Satan. It's just everybody wants to say, well, Satan's evil, so everything about him is evil. Yeah, but if you're following his codes, you're actually being honorable. It's just to an unhonorable deity. Okay. I'm kind of getting rambling on here. But we need to look at the big picture and think that there are no evil clerics, evil mentalists. What's the other one? Yeah. Well, anyway, just because some spell lists are very dark does not mean that they can't be used for good. You know, it's like a sword. Is it good or evil? No, it's a tool. So if a warrior defending his people grabs that sword and uses it and kills many whatevers, it's a good thing, right? But what happens if a rogue grabs that same sword and uses it to harm people and steal from them? It's not an evil sword. It's neutral. Well, so just because something is viewed good or bad does not mean that it should be separate and considered this is evil. No. Anything that can be used for good can be used for evil, and everything evil can also be used for good. It's all about perspective. I think I rambled on enough about this because I might be confusing some people. So, basically, if you are going to do some GMing, think big picture and don't just classify, well, you're a sorcerer, you're evil. Okay? Everybody else, take care. Be at peace.